All he's done is stand and watch wickets go down at the other end. Try and take what you can, and then the last couple of overs, maybe then you start having a real go.
Yeah, Livingston then. Won't get away with that. What a good idea, isn't it? Because the batsman's thinking, just be careful of the swing and the shape, and he might bowl another full delivery. Almost just trying to catch him on the hop there. Quite get it right.
I don't think you should be put off really from bowling the bouncer, even if it is a no ball. Obviously you can't do it again in this over, but it always keeps a batsman honest.
I think you see how he plays it. You've been there as a batsman, you're thinking, just be careful of that ball coming back in. How does he play it? It's good pace as well. He's up near 88 miles an hour. This is what we're talking about here. It's the shape back in to the right-hander. A lot of players, right-handers, will try and get outside the line and try and get down the pitch to try and negate that swing. That's what he does there. He's coming down the pitch, outside off stump, trying to take out the LBW, trying to take out any swing that's there.
Slight surprise, really, that Notts haven't gone for an all-out attack, but certainly a slip. See, two men out, deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, and third man up. I still think you could send third man back. Bring one of those leg side fielders up and put a slip in. 9 for 2. Now's the time to attack. Pretty good pace, actually. 87 miles per hour, just under.
Quite fine length that he found in that first over. Beautifully played. Just using the pace, using the angle. He knew that the ball might be drifting away from towards the slips and the gully. And he plays it beautifully.
Yeah, excellent from Jennings. Can't be too reckless, just has to wait for just a fraction of width. When he does get that width, make sure you put it away.
Quite short enough this time. We're over though for the Lightning. 7 now from that. 14 for 2.
Those lads there, they were on my train with the two kids with me, and these lads jumped on at Northampton on a stag do. Great fun. Playing cricket in the Isles, shouting out.
You were?
Not me, them. They wanted a shout out. Before him had was in bowls, Johnny M and his wife-to-be Deb. Johnny M is the man out on the stag. Deb is the lucky lady.
Yes, in. Hey. Yes, in. Yes, in now. Yes, was. Yeah. That's the genius.
Gone. Tried to be too expansive there. It's skidded on, and further problems for the Lightning.
There just had to be a better option than this shot. Of all the shots you could have played, that one, the degree of difficulty, the situation of the match, just all or nothing. You've got to try and ramp it over the keeper's head against the spinner. Poor option from such a dangerous player. Livingston goes for 3, Lank's in trouble, 14-3.
I know every instinct is telling you to go in there, but you just...
Point agents on the street are Bell and Zidane.
We need to secure this area immediately.
I just shut down half the city and I can't open it up until we know it's safe.
The brand new series of FBI starts Thursday at 9 on Sky Witness.
Well, it's a decent crowd here, but they're very quiet, understandably, with the home side in trouble. 14-3. Maxwell now in. Home side wouldn't have envisaged him being in at this stage. They'd like to have held him back for a little longer, but he's got a rebuilding job to do here.
Get it, Ducky. Ducky, great moving.
A lot of time for Liam Livingston as a player, but this is a very ordinary option. And if he runs down, tries to smack it for 6, but to do that in the situation of the game, probably the last option you needed.
Oh, yes, him. Yes, him.
Had to be plan Z.
Yeah. Just watching the early overs, you think as a batsman, it's a get the bat as straight as possible. All skidding on a little bit of shape in the air.
Oh, Amy, that's brilliant. Amy. Outstanding, him.
Oh, it's a shame whether it's just stopping in the surface a little bit. It's a bit early on that, Maxwell. It's a shame because Livingston is such a dangerous player. So good to watch.
Wicket maiden, 14-3.
What's your view on it, Nighty?
The same as yours, really. You tend to look at these situations if you're out there batting. What would you do in that situation? As I say, I think with the movement that we've had and the early wickets that we've seen, you'd be thinking straight bat, much as possible. The modern players see it differently. That's what he's looking for. Any element of width, he can slap it through that square of the wicket and duck it. Made the move. No thanks to Nottinghamshire. Very talented player. Be very surprised over the years if that lad doesn't come back to play international cricket. That's the last thing you need. Good call from Maxwell. Keaton Jennings was setting off.
Double wicket
That's what we have to do to Jennings, really. Give him no width. And width to him is around that fourth stump, so just outside off stump. We'll be looking to try and create it. So stay as straight as you can. Force him to try something else. Fact is, at 14 for 3, he's probably just going to have to pat him back.
Yeah, just reinforcing the offside now. So deep point. So if he does bowl with a little bit of width, we've got a bit of cover now.
A slightly slow pitch with fields that they're setting.
Yes, one. Lovely fish.
Look like it's swinging quite as much now for him as it did in that first over, but Glenn Max will be very aware of the angle back into the right-hander here. Further indications there's enough pace in the surface. You just try too hard here. Ball swinging around a little bit. Just bowl to your slip, have a slip in place, and just try and keep hitting the top of off stump, rather than perhaps try too much.
Yeah, I think so. It's like they had their plan. They've had their plans for Maxwell and all the players they're bowling at. But actually the pitcher's just giving them just a little bit more to work with than maybe they were expecting. So when it's like that and you get early wickets, you can just stick around that top of the off stump and let the seam movement be the variable.
Oh, there. Good finish. 2 from the over. 16 for 3 from 5.
Some gone faces, understandably so as well. Lancashire 16 for 3 with 1 over of the power play remaining. Still to come, still plenty. Kane Phillips, James Faulkner and Josh Bohannon, although I just wonder, we saw in the Roses match, James Faulkner actually just slide down the order a little bit, so they might just promote Bohannon given the situation. But at the moment, Mark Butcher, we're in a bit of pup.
Well, there's two ways of looking at it. One is, oh dear, we're 3 down. Quickly, we're in real trouble. We'll have a swing and the game's up. Or Maxwell and Jennings can go, well, look, it's very rare batting in the middle order. You get the chance to bat for 15, 16 overs. Let's just get ourselves in and see what we can do. There is a variable here, though. Nick and Keesey talking about it. This pitch was last used on July the 7th when South Africa upset Australia and sent them to Edgbaston in the World Cup semi-final. So it's a very long time for a pitch to have been prepared, left fallow and then regenerated again. And so what I think I'm seeing now is the first over, well, the lacquer was on the ball, it was all shiny and slippery, it sort of slid off the surface a little bit. Then 1 over of spin, and all of a sudden it's gone back to just holding a little bit, being a little bit slow. So it's not going to be the sort of night where you see the ball flying to all parts.
There's bowlers like this, the landlord, Harry Gurney. What a winter he's had. He practically won every single franchise tournament this winter, practically.
Yes.
His little bag of tricks and variations.
Opened up another pub as well, didn't he? While he was away.
Has he got 2 or 3 now?
2.
He's got 2, hasn't he?
2, yeah.
In the cat and wickets, we might as well plug him. 3 crowns in Wimeswold. Lovely area of the world.
Yeah, doesn't need to do any weight training, just taking those barrels up and down the stairs to the cellar.
Needs to take a few more. Almost. A suggestion from Nick and Kesey about having the slip there. It's still at 18 for 3. Be tempted.
Just look at this here. It's that sort of off cutter. Glenn Maxwell trying to open up the blade and get it past the man. There's just no pace. No pace for him to work with and get it past Imad Wasim. He's at short third man inside the circle.
Oh, he's just managed to thread it through. And the cheers around will tell you how desperately the locals wanted that to happen. Just slightly errant in line, Gurney.
Yeah, that's a gift. Harry Gurney, again with the slower ball. The line was bad and Maxwell gratefully scooping it around the corner. It's the sort of surface where if you can force batsmen into trying to hit the ball hard and straight, as a bowling team, you're in the game.
Well, the power play overs are done for Lancashire, and they're 23 for 3 after 6.
What a start it was from Luke Wood. Very first delivery of the night, ripped out the stumps of Davies. Croft quickly followed in the same over. And it was a theatre of nightmares in the ground across the road from the footballing Old Trafford, and Liam Ligon said, well, you won't want to see that again. Boundaries are rare, only 2 of them in the power play thus far, 23 for 3.
Samit Patel, third spinner on show. That's about the balance of Nottinghamshire. 3 spinners available to them. And Gurney, Luke Wood, and Christian can bowl the seamers. And we're yet to see Zach Chappell.
He was a big, imposing unit, by the way, Zach Chappell.
Was his namesake.
Go run.
Just trying to work out what a good score might be from here for Lancashire. An 8 and over from here gets them to 133, and they may well be in the game with that. It's going to take some getting from here, though.
Another dot.
The other variable you throw into the mix as well is that Glenn Maxwell, if he does bat for a certain period of time on this surface, gets the gauge of it, he realises the areas that he can hit and the shots that he can play. And I think you're right. I think that 130 mark is something for at least Lancashire to set the stall on.
Yeah, and Maxwell and Jennings will, as I said before, I think they'll just enjoy the fact that they've got some time out there. They can thread their way through.
Over quickly done. Just 3 runs conceded by Samit Patel, 26 for 3.
I heard that for a while. The birdie song. I tell you, Saturday night in town, Manchester, looks like it's going to be very, very lively indeed. That's why Kesey's got his shirt on.
So the birdie song in full flow. Saturday night in Manchester. Someone has a dress for it. Look at that.
It's a belter. It is a belter.
Might end up at the Blackpool Illuminations with that one. Now here we are. Zach Chappell. It looks like he's had a number 1 around his entire head.
Another delay. Glenn Maxwell's eye being caught by something. My eye would be on Zach Chappell. He looks like Ivan Drago running in at you.
I'm not sure if his intention is to break Lancashire. Nice little moment for him as he receives his T20 cap. Debut in this competition for Nottinghamshire. Played quite a few T20s elsewhere. Can't remember what. Oh, that's right, Leicestershire. Or the Nottinghamshire Academy.
Put those claws away, Daggers.
But he's a talent. He's got pace. He's got that bounce as well. Well, you mentioned earlier he's a wiry character, and he is, but he's actually quite broad in the shoulder. And one of his problems over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, and it happens with young players. Shouts a catch. He's keeping him on the field. Injuries, little niggles here and there. So he plays a little cluster of games and then...
Well, he's only 22, isn't he? So you're going to get injuries. But he's built for it, that is for sure. That run-up is smooth and rhythmical. Perhaps just loses a bit of momentum as he gets into his delivery strike. Plenty to work with there.
It's got a bit of an old school carry it in the left, change it to the right as well.
Phil Newport used to do that in Worcestershire, didn't he? Amazing wrist, could swing the ball round corners.
Changes there. A bit of movement from Maxwell, just slightly putting him off. So that's Stuart Broad, Harry Gurney, James Taylor and Zach Chappell.
Are you still on about this now?
Not bitter.
It's a good point you make from the point of view of Nottinghamshire and where their production is coming from.
Just be a single. I'm jesting. The thing is, it's actually quite a good learning place for young cricketers. You look at someone like James Taylor, okay, out of the game now due to the health, but spent 3 years playing first-class cricket, made 1,000 runs a year, an average of 50 in both in championship and one-day cricket, and then made the move. He's got, people have got stats behind them, learned their trade there. Got to be quick here, got to be quick. Perfect throw from Alex Hales. Oh, he got a buzzer. First of the night. Not going to take a look at it, Nick Cook.
A long way out for Alex Hales. Keaton Jennings got his head down and was aware enough to turn around and get back for the second. I was wondering when you're going to bring up David Gower moving to Hampshire. You got a problem with that one as well?
Philip de Freitas to Lancashire. Nicely played. Chase on for Imad. Oh, there we go, the big size 12. Still manages to pick up 3, this Keaton Jennings. And a better over for Lancashire. 9 runs coming from it, 35 for 3 after 8.
I've got a chance to see Imad Wasim's flash green wheels in action. Lancashire enjoying a bit of extra pace and bounce from Zach Chappell.
So 35 for 3. I'm just wondering as well already if you can perhaps predict a little bit where Nottinghamshire might go with now the ball a little bit older, that lacquer coming from it. Might they just go changes of pace or even spinners from here on in? Gurney towards the back end.
It's noticeably easier when Chappell was bowling. That extra bit of pace, his height, obviously his natural length is going to be more towards the middle of the pitch. And actually just had a little bit more to work with.
And gone easily. Rolled in by Samit Patel, a little bit slower perhaps. And Keaton Jennings continues his walk as he was miles out. Tom Moore's doing the rest.
Spin to win. Got to put all of the pace on the ball yourself on this surface when the slow bowlers are on. Jennings set off perhaps a little bit too early. Samit Patel's too wily to be taken in by that. Jennings goes for 16. Partnership is broken. It's 35 for 4.
Open Table. With millions of verified diner reviews, Open Table helps you discover the right restaurant for you. Reserve your table on Open Table.
You're my sidekick. Ain't nobody's sidekick. You're such a diva.
35 for 4, and the captain. And my, how Lancashire need them. Dane Villas.
For 16. Partnership is broken. It's 35 for 4.
Open Table. With millions of verified diner reviews, Open Table helps you discover the right restaurant for you. Reserve your table on Open Table.
You're my sidekick. Ain't nobody's sidekick. You're such a diva.
35 for 4, and the captain. And my, how Lancashire need them. Dane Villas. Fabulous strike rate, very good average as well. Alongside the overseas player Glenn Maxwell. A lot depending on this partnership. I'm pleased to say we've got a third in the pod. Good evening, Stephen Mullaney.
Good evening, Daggers.
Now, first off, and if you're a Notts fan, you don't mind reading those. Luke Wood, 3 overs, 2 for 10. Samit Patel just going at 3s as well. Imad Wasim yet to concede a run.
Yeah, decided to go with another one for Zach Chappell. Little bit surprised. He'd probably take a hat-trick now. It just seemed to be that runs came a little bit easier off the bat. He was putting pace on the ball.
Little off-cutter first up.
Take him, take him, take him!
Gonna have to be quick here. Goodness me. A little bit of a stretch. He gets applause. Does Dane Villas from Glenn Maxwell, but really had to put the afterburners on.
I reckon if Luke Wood's throw had been that little bit straighter, Maxwell might have been struggling. He just had to reach for it.
Set off quickly again. Going to think about 2.
Take him, take him! Go!
And another one now. This throw this time wouldn't have been far away. Left alone by Zach Chappell. Thought it was going to be that close to a direct hit. How would have Maxwell done this time? Oh.
2 in 2. That just shows you the risks that they're having to take to score out there at the moment. Luke Wood's getting closer.
Steve Mullaney, Nottinghamshire 4-day captain, still in the pod with us. And Glenn Maxwell just wants one in. Now, the other news is you've just been under the knife. How are you?
Yeah,
what's wrong? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I had a tear in my left cartilage, so I've had that scraped out and a cyst removed behind my kneecap. So sounds a bit worse than what it actually is. So, but no, I'm about walking and on the bike, and had a couple of hits to some throwdowns. So yeah, it's going in the right direction.
How far do you reckon?
Hopefully 2 weeks. We've got a Champo game in 2 weeks, so hopefully ready for that.
Nicely manoeuvred, but just a single. for Glenn Maxwell. Just striking at 75 at the moment, just the situation dictating the way that he's having to play.
Yeah, I think we realised this is a huge wicket. Villas, I think we knew that he was going to try, and he tried to get momentum into the batting of Lancashire by quick running like he did them first 2 balls. So, it's really important that the boundary riders realise where they have to be and stop them twos.
A bit of a turnaround since we saw the Outlaws last. Had a pretty rotten time of it in the Championship and lost your first blast game, and everybody was looking a bit gloomy, but things have picked up a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And last night we played Birmingham at home and put on a really strong performance, as we did last week against Derby. The thing what we've spoke about and we've struggled with is backing it up back-to-back games. So we played a lot of Friday, Saturday or Friday, Sunday games. So it's really key, a focus tonight and backing last night up.
That's well bowled. Just saw the movement, banged in, and a dot ball to finish. So halfway stage, and Lancashire really struggling, but 2 serious players at the crease. 45 for 4 at the halfway stage.
Well, it's been slim pickings for Lancashire. On the toss and batted. They may well have expected the pitch to play slowly. They certainly wouldn't have expected to be 2 down within the first over and 3 down within 4 overs. But Maxwell and Villas doing their very best to rebuild things from here. They've still got plenty of deliveries to go. I reckon a score of around about 130 may well give them a chance. 120 might even give them a chance if they take early wickets.
Lovely shot, super strike, big boundary out there on the offside, and well, we haven't did too much in the way of cheers the last half an hour or so.
That's a gift. Rare mistake from Samit Patel on a surface like this to bowl a full toss. You're almost better off bowling a half tracker on this deck than a fully. But Maxwell gratefully received it. 3rd 4 of the innings. Hearing from Richard Isaacs, our statistician, that there's only been 1 lower score than this at the halfway point here at Old Trafford. Gives you some indication as to how tough the Lightning are finding things.
Sammy bowled. Nice, Barry. Nice, Bazza. Jump.
Mid off. You never really know.
Not good over. 8 from it, 53 for 4. Not been interesting. Last 3 nights, you've got a tie at Cardiff. Yeah, tie at Cardiff on Thursday. In the Friday night game at Northampton, where Derbyshire made 180 look easy, courtesy of a brilliant knock from Wayne Madsen. And then Saturday night cricket here at Old Trafford. A decent crowd. Power. Just brute power from Maxwell. Ball sat up and was dispatched.
Well, he's played a lot of cricket around the world, and he knows that Zach Chappell might just offer him his best chance of getting this innings up and running. And there you can see a lot of foot movements, creating the angles. It's not going to be easy against the spinners. Might be a little more straightforward against the pace.
I'm really surprised he's having a third over here. I know that the game can be very different when you're out there in the middle and very different when you're not involved and looking at it from the outside, but it just seems to me that it is so much easier to score the pace and bounce of Chappell than it would be the slower bowlers, the spinners.
I'm a little surprised he didn't bowl a little earlier. Carter opening the bowling. I think with the first over of Luke Wood and the swing and the nip off the seam, I'd have gone with another opening bowler, but there you go. They've chosen to do it differently. Either way, you can't really argue they're still well placed at 58 for 4.
No, you're right. Just wondering, though, how many would be comfortable chasing. Difficult to tell. Still think 125, 130 gets you in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you did the toss. I mean, we kind of wander around and you get a feel for the occasion in the game when you're there pre-match, and you felt there that winning the toss and batting first, it was a big moment in the game. Big advantage if you can get, as you say, 135, 140 maybe. That's what he's doing, Max. He's right. I'm sure he's right. Trying to target the extra pace. He just couldn't quite get hold of it. Yeah, you can see the frustration there because he knows this is his opportunity. That's quick. That's up at around 88, 89 miles an hour. And on a surface like that, that's what you want.
Yeah, you do. The faster it comes at you, the better. And pitches like this one. There are other days when you're not so keen.
Yeah. Quite a few of them and all, Butch.
Off cutter again. We come back for 2. Luke Wood has got rid of it quickly. He's got to hustle. And hustle they do.
The sort of pitch, isn't it, where someone like Timar Mills, who was in the wickets yesterday, would love to bowl on. Not because necessarily you get the extra pace off it, but because it brings in the slower ball. He's so skillful. And put batsmen on the back foot, but that slower ball's so effective on a surface like this. The attack they had last night. Archer, Jordan, Mills, Rashid Khan.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. From Dane Villas, 66 for 4 from 12.
That's good batting and it's good batsmanship, just realising that this was the moment. Villas tucking in as well. Looked like he tried just to hold it back, maybe a little slower ball into the surface, but just set up nicely. I mean, you mentioned the other 2 games we did, Cardiff and Northampton. The other common theme from that was that batting perhaps got a little easier as the game went on. That's because they had a little bit of dew. The conditions changed. Whether we get that or not, that'll have a big impact on what happens in the second half here. The dew does come down, slides on, then it's a different game.
Razine has a little switch of ends. Down with the James Anderson end. I'm very pleased to say that we have an extremely special guest getting mic'd up here in the pod.
One.
Man who served Nottinghamshire and Sussex, Barbados, West Indies with great distinction. Man who's by far and away the best golfer in the pod right now. Mr. Franklin Stevenson.
Hey, Mark, super. It's the fog Gloucester and Orange Free State. A real journeyman.
Yeah, sometimes that word is used in a derogatory fashion. I don't think it applies to you.
Yes, I'm over. Actually, I spent last night down at Trent Bridge, and the guys had a fantastic game then, so I claimed that victory. I said, well, they weren't playing well, but they saw me and they picked it up. And then today, obviously, it's fantastic what's happening now. So I think they're going to put me on contract, I think.
After a coaching job here. Now, listen, you didn't get a chance to play T20 cricket, but you would have absolutely loved it, wouldn't you? It would have suited your game down to the ground.
Well, I think whenever I played, it was like a T20, because if I could see the ball was close to me, it really had to go. You know? Well, it was great. Actually, the first, in 1992, after the World Cup, the first 40-over match, the 40 over was actually changed to 50 overs to get England boys some practice at that international game. And Norman Gifford, and the captain of Sussex at the time, they thought it would be a great idea to elevate me up the order. So I opened the batting against Surrey. And believe it or not, I got 100. But Alex Stewart actually wrote a letter. He complained that his bowlers had no place to bowl. Two fielders out bowling to Franklin at the top of the order. He said it wasn't fair cricket.
No, true enough. Of course, the first man, or the last man, in fact, to make 1,000 runs and take 100 wickets in a county season. Seems quite extraordinary in modern cricket to have got racked up those sort of numbers. Great to have you here. 72 for 4 from 13.
Your stats coming up here. All the numbers, of course. Are you a sort of cricketer that would know all these numbers? Would you know all that you achieved there? Has that come as a surprise to you?
Well, it's been preached to me for a little bit now, because I've written my book. It's been preached. I've written my book, and actually Dave Bracegirdle, the journalist from Nottingham, he actually went through the stats, and he actually enlightened me on a couple of points. I was actually reciting some of the stuff, and you sort of remember a little bit differently, you know. But yes, the stats that did come up, and I'm quite impressed with what I've seen.
Going on here, isn't it?
He's a handsome devil as well, isn't he?
Used to be. I like the beard. It's a different colour these days, so I had to get rid of it.
Tell me about it.
Middle. Thank you.
Richard Isaacs in my ear, Franklin, tells me that I played in that game. You made the 100, opening the batting at Hove, 1993 it was. And he's also telling me I took 3 for 51. Ridiculous.
I remember opening with David Smith, who was an ex-Surrey man as well. And I was a bit concerned that I wasn't getting the strike very often, because he kept looking for these singles, and there were 7 guys saving 1. So I thought, well, I know where there's some gaps. It was quite strange, because in the 20th over, I was desperate to get the 150 in the 20th over, and I actually got out in the 20th over. I think 148 or something like that, and that was our first wicket we lost, you know. But that was something. These days, that's a slow go, isn't it?
Says you do remember your cricket, don't you? Taking you back to being specific about certain overs. Well, they need that. They desperately needed that. It's tough going out there on this surface. And found them at the middle of the bat very often. Just 6 4s.
This is a really handy partnership building now. The 44 now from 34 between these two. It finishes the 14th over. 80 for 4.
New season, new hope. Wonderful Arsenal goal.
More passion.
More glory.
Lancashire mounting a recovery of sorts. 2 down in the first over due to some excellent swing bowling from Luke Wood. that continued to lose wickets from that point, but building nicely now. Partnership of 45 between Glenn Maxwell and skipper Dane Vilas. And Lancashire will be looking somewhere in the region of 130. And if they can get more than that, then more power to them, because this isn't going to be a straightforward pitch to mount a chase on.
Yeah, I had a little chat with the Lancashire lads just now, and they're concerned that the pitch is sticking a little bit, and so the spinners are getting some purchase, so they want a fight in total, and they've got a right man at the crease for that at the moment, actually. That's Glenn Maxwell.
At the end of this over, Rob Key's going to be on commentary, and he's very excited because he can talk golf with you. What a gig that is. You'll tell us exactly what your role is now.
Well, it's weird. I started working at Sandy Lane just after I finished my career, which was playing for the Free State. I retired in 1997. I did retire from Sussex in 95, but I played the extra 2 years at the Free State. And I started working at Sandy Lane as assistant professional, duty manager and caddy program supervisor in December. But then soon after that, my job became strictly professional. And I just smile because I get to go out there and play golf and call it work.
Yeah, Keesey too.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird how we consider you got a good memory for events. And on my way up, I came up with Dave Bracegirdle, and he was asking me if I had any memorable performances against Lancashire. And I said, I can't remember. I did hit Gihan Mendes on his helmet here 4 times in 1 innings, but he still got 100 and we still lost. Actually, it drew. It was a very flat pitch. But then he pulled out some stats and showed me that he got 107 and 57 in the one match against at Horsham.
Oh, that has been belted. Dane Vilas is grateful to pounce on that short ball. Harry Gurney taking way too much pace off on this occasion, and it just sat there and begged to be belted.
I think you were very kind to call that a short ball. I'd like to hear Jeff Boycott describe that delivery, actually. He got it totally wrong, didn't he? Very slow halfway down the pitch.
That's a tactic nowadays, Frankie. The execution was wanting, but yeah, I know what you mean. Harry Gurney sees the funny side. It's very rare that he would bowl a delivery as poor as that one.
Well, I've got sitting in front of you there that little article, and I really consider that it's going to be...
9 golf tips. Yeah, that's everybody laughs.
You're just laughing.
I'll have to bowl that one again. I'll take that as a no, frankly.
No, I haven't actually, but I have been warned, and then as soon as I came up the steps, I saw Rob reach into his pocket and he added another little note to his bit of paper, so I think that's... I think they've got some questions coming, I'm told.
Looking for 2 here again. This is brilliant cricket from these two. They have hustled, they have run, they have pinched every run they can get. 5 to go. Lancashire are 91 for 4.
Creeping up to a decent score. Remember, India versus New Zealand, that was not a straightforward pitch. There was a little bit of movement, a little bit of spin. This is reminiscent of that surface, and that was a cracking game. 130, they have a good bowling attack. They may be able to defend that. Can they get up there?
5 to go. Maxwell, VS, both 32. Carter, 12 off his 2 so far. Just feel Maxwell's confidence starting to improve with every ball. The foot movement, a little jiggery pokery in the crease. Franklin Stevenson still alongside us. Be interested actually, Frank.
Yeah, I thought as soon as Villas came to the crease, Maxwell running improved. I think he started to really pinch these runs, and now they're building on the boundaries as well.
Beautifully and sweetly timed by Dane Villas. Just into the sweeping slot.
Yeah, this is an excellent partnership. Good to see Maxwell playing this way as well. Sometimes if you just hold him back because you think he's nothing more than a swiper, well, that's what you're going to get from him, actually. Maxwell here's had to play a proper knock, show responsibility. That's exactly what he's doing. Franklin, one quick question about golf. How do you stop a sway?
How do you stop a...
Sway, you know, when you sway into the ball. I'm gone. I've got a head full of cartoons.
All right, I think about sticking your bum against the wall and trying to keep the midsection out of the swinging area. And just use your shoulders. Just hang into the center and use your shoulders.
I'll be doing that.
Try it, let's see.
Definitely be doing that.
That was a...
Stick your bum into the wall. Oh, okay. Bum out.
At the point of impact, your bum is still on the wall.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll be doing that. Just have to find a course with a wall.
I'm going to get a text from work now. They're expecting a docket to be filled out that I've just given a lesson, so you've got to build.
100 up.
That's not Rob on the golf course swaying, is it?
Well, a single to finish the over. Franklin, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us in the pod.
Oh, you're most welcome.
And good luck with your venture as well. With your
Thank you very much. You're most welcome.
16 gone, 101 for 4.
Smile. What's the use of crying? You'll find that life is.
We don't just engineer to a spec. We engineer to a feeling. The all-new Mazda 3.
Just smile.
Well, this partnership now worth 66 from 48 deliveries. Just 6 dot balls in it, which shows you how well Maxwell and Villas have manoeuvred the ball and manoeuvred the bowling as well. Especially given the start that Lanks had, 35 for 4. Imad Wazim. His bowl is third, had to be quick. And after a couple of fairly hairy moments for Glenn Maxwell earlier on, with the run in between the wickets with Villas. They've done well. What's the score that's winning this, Rocky? For Lanks.
Scrape up to 130, we said a minute ago, 140, something like that. With Maxwell in, Maxwell looking to explode at some stage. You always look as well, and you start looking at someone like Maxwell, someone with his power. 35 or 33, the strike rate 106, means it's not a straightforward pitch. Players like him do not struggle if they bat for this amount of time.
How much is that the situation?
Yeah, I think 50-50 actually, because he had to start slow, he had to rebuild, but now we'll get a bit of a tell when he does start going into 5th gear. Then you start to work out this pitch.
And just to flip it over on its head, could Nottinghamshire have done anything different? Having Lanks 35 for 4. Swipe to race, just going to fall short. Luke Wood out on the boundary edge.
So here's shots like that. What's he been in for now? 34 deliveries, and still he's not finding the middle of the bat. I reckon that's a bit to do with the surface. Sometimes you just have to bat ugly. Maxwell hasn't done that often, but he has to today.
Yeah, just the singles finish. A very tidy over from Imad Razim. 5 runs coming from it with 3 to go. The Lightning 106 for 4. A little bit damp inside the helmet of Glenn Maxwell. Well, welcome to our viewers on Sky Sports main event. You join us with Lancashire trying to claw their way to respectability after a tough start. 35 for 4 they were, 14 for 3. Partnership of 71 between Glenn Maxwell and Dane Villas, the Lancashire captain. It's got them to 106 for 4, so half-decent 3 overs here. Might prove to be testing in the pitch that is just sticking a little bit, not easy to time your shots. The slow bowlers seeming to have more success. Gurney to bowl his third. That has been placed really well. Long chase for Luke Wood.
That is a massive boundary out that side. Just again, when you have a boundary like that, short one side, surface like this, I reckon you're looking at a pass score around 150. Maybe even less than that. That is a huge boundary. I'm amazed actually he hasn't just bowled every ball into the middle of the pitch pretty much. Get him hitting out that way, hitting onto the leg side.
That just shows you how much acreage there is on the leg side for both these players. So you go the other way instead, and you go the full Glenn Maxwell. If one boundary is too big on one side, there are ways and means of getting it to the other.
This is what we've been waiting to see from Maxwell. Just the switch hit. Gurney, experienced bowler, played a lot around the world in big competitions. Has just been reverse hit by Glenn Maxwell. What a shot that is.
Well, this is a renegade to a star. Both Melbourne clubs in the BBL. Another renegade does the fielding, and Dan Christian. There's excellent running between the pair. Productive over so far, 9 from the first 4.
But again, you can see his mind doing overtime because he thinks, I'm going to have to. Even Maxwell doesn't think he can clear the rope that way onto the leg side. So he'd rather try and just play switch hits.
There he goes. There he goes again. And this time, he's got the distance. It's quality, it's innovation, it's Glenn Maxwell.
This was 6 as soon as it hit the bat, right out of the middle. The amount of talent, the amount of skill you need to play this shot and play it just like that. Gets low, changes his hands around. That is extraordinary batting. Extraordinary from Maxwell.
Not only the skill, not only the technique, but the courage as well. Get down to a quick bowler. And a single to finish what has been an excellent over for Lancs. They're in a good position now, you fancy. 122 for 4 with 2 remaining.
Yeah, get to that 140. I reckon both these two, when Villas joined Maxwell, he would have turned to him and said, we get up to 140, that's a good score.
Well, what a partnership this has been. Both on the cusp of half centuries. There's your mates, Rob Key.
Yeah, the stag do on the train. There they are.
There they are.
Good luck, Deb.
Wonder where Deb is.
Crying somewhere.
Tails down on the boundary. It was agricultural from Glenn Maxwell, but it brings him an excellent half century. Came in very precarious circumstances for Lancashire and has shown his experience and class.
Quickly that strike rate changes as well.
That's got the decibel level up on Old Trafford a few higher.
Well, we're seeing a different Glenn Maxwell tonight. More responsible, seeing all the skill, all the talent that he has. But actually as well, he's played a more responsible knock. This is, I think, what people want to see from him. Keep shoving him down the order. This is what you, well, this isn't what you're going to get.
Simple. Well, he's lost it. I honestly thought that that was going straight down the throat of Joe Clark. And maybe in the lights, perhaps. The reaction from Imad tells you all you need to know.
Well, can't quite believe what I'm seeing. Just have a look at this. Completely lost it in the lights. Completely lost it in the lights. Don't worry, no one saw it.
Last time sweetly as well. A lot of work for Hales to do. This time he at least collects it without it dribbling into the boundary rope. 4-2, 4-2 so far. Knots now a little bit ragged. Oh, there we go again. Short boundary, picked up, pivoted on the back foot. And Maxwell's shown us all his tricks.
Catching the crowd. Let's have a look. Oh, no.
You're a donut.
It's a big stand, though, that, isn't it?
Last ball. That's gone very straight. A lot of work for Wood to do. Lovely bit of scrum half work as well. 20 runs from it. 142 for 4 with 6 balls remaining. This run rate has picked up alarmingly for the Lancashire Lightning. 97 runs in the last 9 overs, 36 runs off the last 2. And just see that acceleration. Just imagine, this has been a fairly lengthy conversation between teammates not only at Nottinghamshire, as I said it before, the Melbourne Renegades, EDL champions last year. Where are you bowling at these two in this sort of form now?
Well, you've got one massive boundary to the leg side. The problem is that Maxwell has been batting left and right-handed. That does become a problem. Third man has been up and he's just lifted it straight over him. Might be slightly different to Villas. use the middle of the surface, slow balls, and if you're going to bowl a Yorker, do it at leg stump. Do it at leg stump. Nothing on the stumps, nothing even anything wide.
Boxed him with a bit of back of a hand at Harry Gurney. Yeah, so as Rob was suggesting, those leg stump Yorkers, he's got deep square, deep mid-wicket, long on. And then long off, just at the bottom left of your screen, top middle, deep cover. Huge appeal and given by umpire Nick Cook. And so the end of Dane Villas. And the crowd will rise to him. This has been one half of a brilliant partnership with Glenn Maxwell. What say you, Rob Key?
Yeah, I'd say that Villas actually overthought that. All he had to do was try and get bat on ball, get Maxwell back on strike. Villas played well, though. That was an excellent partnership. 46 from 36 on a tough surface, 142 for 5. Could see actually that Maxwell was playing slower or not batting as quick as Villas at the start. And now Maxwell is in 5th gear. Get him on strike.
So Villas departs, Faulkner comes into the arena. Partnership between Villas and Maxwell, 107 off just 68 deliveries. Four reds. Conclusive, good decision, Nick Cook. The 4 balls remain. Got to go. Taking their life into their own hands a little bit, but they had to get Maxwell back on strike. It's a good bit of bowling from Harry Gurney as well.
Yeah, excellent. Unlucky really now because, well, it shouldn't have been a run at all. Maxwell just took a punt. Get ready now, though. Maxwell on strike.
Now, third man's gone back. Mid-off has come up. So in place for those little switch hits. Big ones. And over the wicket from Gurney. And it's 4 more for Glenn Maxwell. Can't have enough fielders outside the circle when Maxwell's striking it like this.
Yeah, not a great delivery again. It's not easy, that is for sure, but with fine leg up, just shorten the ground for him because he can use a little bit of pace, even though it's a slow ball, uses his wrists really well.
This time over the top, is it going to fall straight into the hands of Samit Patel? And what might have been, but goodness hasn't he entertained us. He really has. Show why he's one of the most dangerous players in the world. He started off very sedately, but accelerated dramatically towards the back end of his innings.
Yeah, fantastic knock from Maxwell. 73 or 46. Really responsible innings, got his side up to more than a fighting score. With the bowling attack, he has given them something after such a poor start. That is what you want to see from your overseas batsman. You don't just want someone who's going to come in the last 8 overs and hit it out the park. You want that when you're under pressure. When you lose wickets early, can you play that type of knock?
Edged, and it's just squeezed past. That little hurdle of 150 has been broken by the Lancashire Lightning. 4 off the final ball. Another slow one and a wry grin. He's seen it all before, Harry Gurney. But it's all smiles in the Lancashire camp. After being 14 for 3 and 35 for 4, they end their 20 overs, 151 for 6. And that pretty much tells you the story. The partnership between Maxwell and Villas, getting them in towards the 20th over. Poor start, well bowled by Luke Wood. Wood only actually didn't finish his full allocation. 2 for 10 he picked up, 1 for 31 for Imad and 2 for 42 for Harry Gurney. Sami Patel also miserly as well. So, 152 runs to win for the Nottinghamshire Outlaws. It'll be a test on this surface and against a very experienced bowling attack. We'll be picking the bones out of that first innings in just a few moments.
Sport with memory foam.
We believe you should make your sub, wrap or salad exactly how you want. So we've introduced 21 new and improved ingredients so you can customize.
Stop this. You can't give people this much choice. We're shutting it down. Hey, take me down.
Stop telling people they can make what they want.
Don't film it. Don't film it.
No, there's just too much choice. Hey, how do I turn this thing off?
Our unmissable end-of-season clearance event is now on at Homebase across a wide range of products, including barbecues and garden furniture. We're paving the way for fresh new ranges.
A new BMW 3 Series doesn't quack, but you can rent it from only £39 from Sixt. Sixt, drive smug.
Are you totally ready for a healthier mouth? New Colgate Total toothpaste with a breakthrough formula helps fight bacteria on your whole mouth so that your teeth, tongue, cheeks and gums are protected for up to 12 hours. New Colgate Total also delivers effective enamel protection and cares for sensitive teeth. New Colgate Total for whole mouth health.
And last weekend in Amsterdam was great, although I thought the place was a bit expensive. That's strange. I got quite a good deal on the hotel. Seriously? You think £200 a night is a good deal? What? No, never spend that on a hotel. Well, how did you do it then?
Well, with Trivago, you can search for the hotel you want, select the dates, and Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide to find the ideal hotel for you.
Do I know you?
Hotel.
Trivago.
Hotel Trivago.
Is your old laptop slowing life down? Not anymore. Talk to Simon from Curry's PC World. You could save between £50 and £200 when you trade in your old qualifying laptop for a new one. Like this speedy HP Pavilion. It's got up to 11 hours of battery life, a super quick Intel processor, and boots up in seconds. Wow, didn't think it was that fast. Bring in your old laptop, save with instant trade-in at Curry's PC World.
Light rain for 60 minutes.
Lights out and away we go. Leclerc has gone into the barriers. Oh! Lewis Hamilton's gone off as well, but he's carried on. Bottas is out of the race. Oh, what a race this is. Sebastian Vettel, 20th up to second. Max Verstappen to win the German Grand Prix.
A stunning race. I loved it. And they're actually getting better and better.
Next up, the Rolex Hungarian Grand Prix, live only on Sky Sports F1.
I'm very happy for you. You're about to start a brand new chapter.
You've been clean for like 2 weeks, right?
I've actually been really happy. Every time I feel good, I think it'll last forever, but it doesn't. We're just reaching for something to make it all seem meaningful.
Australia 124 for 3 then in their second innings, a lead of 34. Intriguing day in prospect tomorrow. Stephen Smith resumes on 46, not out. We'll get going at 10 o'clock. As far as this game is concerned, well, 2 wickets in the first over from Luke Wood. A slow pitch, batting not easy. Glenn Maxwell and Dane Villas quite outstanding, and they have a real chance on this surface. We're out in the middle here with Rob Creek. I say a real chance, more than a chance. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good score, actually, especially from where they were. But you can almost forget about that and think what a past score is. Remember, this is the ground where India, New Zealand in that brilliant semi-final where it wasn't a straightforward pitch, as the fella just goes through with the roller. Just get down and have a look. If you can just see on here, there's a lot of foot marks. It's just it's dry, so the ball's just holding it. It's not going to rip square, but as you look to just chip the ball around, it's just going to go aerial. It's not going to be easy just to hit through the line. Massive boundary that side. So I think that's a good score on here.
Batting masterclass from Glenn Maxwell.
Do you know, I'm so pleased to see something different from Maxwell. Yeah, the reverse sweeps, all of that, but he had to rein it in. I like the fact, actually, he came in a little bit lower than he did yesterday, but generally they've sent him in at 3. I think that's what you want from Maxwell. Not someone who's going to come in for the last 12 overs or last 8 overs, whatever it is, and try and smash it everywhere. You start slowly, then you get into those types of shots. I thought that was great. That is exactly what you want from an overseas star, not someone who's going to swipe a few, be hit and miss. You want consistency, and if he plays like that, that could be a match-winning knock.
I know you haven't got a bat in your hand, but in a minute I'm going to ask you to demonstrate. Go on, well, you were on commentary saying about getting so low. I mean, what's the key? Anyone watching, how do you play that shot so effectively as he does?
Well, what he does is obviously premeditated, so you have to do that. He's then looking at the field as well, massive boundary that way. Even Maxwell didn't think he could hit a 6 out that way. So you just change your hands, you get as low as you can. And actually, the real key is thinking you don't have to hit it hard. You're going to use all the pace, everything that the bowler puts on the ball, you're going to do it. So don't be trying to whack it like this. Actually, get low and just look to hit the ball. Don't look to hit it hard, just look to find the bat. And then, really, he's not actually looking to hit it for 6. He's just looking to hit the ball in the middle, and if it goes, it goes.
That's how Glenn Maxwell did it. How do Notts do it now? How do they approach batting on this surface?
And after Nick Cook's just turned up, he's not overly happy.
Come on, Cookie. We'll be off in a minute.
No heavy rollers. He's got a double teapot on.
How do you see it, Cookie? How's it going out here? What do you reckon to the surface? Come on, give us some insight.
I think it's a good surface. A little bit too paced. Who's favourites, lads?
Well, that's what we were asking you for.
Oh, you can't.
You got me in bucket. Off you go. Anyway, right. Notts then have an intriguing run chase here. 152 is required. Let's get back to the pod and join Charlie Dagnall and Mark Butcher.
Thank you very much, Nick Knight, Rob Key. That shirt looked all right under the lights, didn't it? Glenn Maxwell and Dane Villas has given the Lancashire Lightning a chance of extending their unbeaten run. It was a brilliant stand between the two of them. 107 for the 5th wicket. The Lancashire team that at one point we lost 2 for none in the first over, ended up with 151 for 6. Maxwell out with 1 ball to go for 73. Dane Villas with 46. They ran unbelievably hard, tried to pick up every single run that was on offer, and rescued what looked to be a desperate situation for the team that sits top of the North Group. We've got a terrific bowling attack as well. Keep an eye out for Saqib Mahmood, Matthew Parkinson, the leg spinner, Richard Gleeson. James Faulkner looks to be somewhere near his man of the match winning best from the 2015 World Cup final, so they will defend like demons out there. And they're going to have to, because Nottinghamshire Outlaws are starting to run into a bit of form themselves. Alex Hales with a couple of 50s in the blast to his name. Joe Clark looking to impress after his move from reigning champions Worcestershire. All in all, I think things are set up for a cracking run chase here at Old Trafford. What do you make of it, Daggers?
I couldn't agree more with you. And you just run down that Lancashire bowling lineup, and the similarities are there, and there are differences, of course, but it's the options that Dane Villas has. You know, Glenn Maxwell, Keaton Jennings can even bowl his little medium pacers. Stephen Croft can give you some overs. Josh Bohannon, Saqib Mahmood, Parkinson, Gleeson. So you've got bowling right down the way, depending on how the pitch plays or how the players are actually, not batsmen are coping with it. You have plenty of different options. Spinners that turn the ball away and into the right-handers. I think it was interesting as well, just watching Ricky Vessels scoring 90-odd yesterday for Worcester, and he's up on the leading run scorers as well. A bit of pressure on Joe Clark because it's one for the other. Clark coming from Worcestershire to Nottinghamshire and Vessels going the other way. And he wanted to get some runs on the board alongside his partner Alex Hales.
Richard Gleeson will take the new ball from the James Anderson end. Oh, he's got him! First ball, would you believe it? First ball of both innings has resulted in a wicket. And this ground has erupted.
Butch Weir at the finest third man. It looked absolutely stone dead from where we were. Oh, have some of that, Joe Clark. What a ripper to get first up. It's a beauty from Lancashire's piece of Blackpool Rock. Richard Gleeson and Clark has to depart. And Knotson all for one.
Quite remarkable. Apologies if you heard any fruity language from out there in the middle. Motion's running high, obviously. Ben Duckett makes his way out to the middle a little sooner than perhaps he would have liked.
But Butch, how are you if you're Lancashire? You've just, you've been in a horrible position with the bat. You've seen Maxwell and Villas get you to a defendable total. You get a wicket first ball, and now everything, all of this impetus, surely, with the home side.
Well, it's a funny old game. I'm saying in the Lancashire innings that if you were going to lose 3 wickets, you may as well lose them in the first couple of overs, because it gives the other batsman a chance to build an innings and play. At least nobody wasted any deliveries. Joe Clark certainly didn't waste any. Unbelievably close to 2 and 2. The interesting thing for me in the Lancashire innings was that we saw movement. We saw movement from Luke Wood. We've seen movement from Gleeson. But Nottinghamshire stuck with their plan of bowling the off-spinner from the other end regardless, even though Luke Wood has made the ball move when the ball was brand spanking new. Bet you Lancashire don't do that. I bet they'll have Saqib bowl from this end. Beaten him again. And the other thing that struck me during Lancashire's innings was the decision to keep going with Zach Chappell. Once the newness had gone off the ball, to keep that pace on, which just seemed to get Maxwell and Villas going. Duckett's away.
I'm with you. I want to see Saqib Mahmood from this Brian Statham end, where we're situated. I also think if he gets the opportunity to bowl to Alex Hales as well, Hales likes a teeny little bit of width just to free his arms up. Wonderful timer of the ball. So he uses pace brilliantly, does Alex Hales. But Saqib hits the right area. We've seen already, both in the Royal London Cup and this T20 blast, how dangerous he can be.
Well, forgive us if we sound a little overexcited here in the pod. Atmosphere has just gone up about 10 notches here at Old Trafford. And also with 2 wickets falling in the first over and Lancashire struggling to get any runs in the first half of their innings, we didn't expect the game to come to life quite as it has. Could be in for a belter.
Well, temperatures may be rising around Old Trafford. They're also rising in the middle. If you did hear anything untowards language-wise, we do apologise, obviously. Temperatures running a little warm in the centre of Old Trafford.
It's a muggy night out there. And that's a great shot from Alex Hales. He has timed that to perfection. 6 for 1.
Well, you talk about the time, the way that Alex Hales plays pace, just out in front of his body, but that flick of the wrists, absolutely perfect. Alex Davis, way. Some decent hang time from Alex Davis.
You just see by the way that Davies kept sliding when he eventually hit the ground. There is a bit of dew out there on the outfield. May make a difference to the playing surface. But if there's any movement to be had, this young fella will find it. 22 years of age. Hales from Birmingham. Another one of your old haunts, Daggers. Got any moans about where they get their players from? Are you all right with them? Are they okay?
Give us 5 minutes.
He has been very impressive whenever we've seen him. Bowls sort of mid-80s, mid to high 80s. Look at Ben Duckett's numbers in the blast. 64 against Derbyshire, just struggled to get going really. Other than that, a very talented player. Somebody that Lancashire would like to see the back of as soon as possible.
It's the little game within a game. Enjoying this particular part. It's Saqib Mahmood, 22 years of age. World in front of him, bowls, as you say, really good pace. He makes things happen. He has done throughout the course of this season. A little bit before that, bowling to Alex Hales, Ben Duckett, 2 international players, under the lights, great crowd. Took 28 wickets in that Royal London campaign where they were knocked out at the semi-final stage. A little bit like we saw down at Glamorgan. Just seeing how young players cope. Lucas Carey had to bowl that last over in the Tide game that we watched. Just seeing what they've got.
Yeah, it's terrific to see players and how they react under pressure. Absolutely sure that high pressure cricket that a lot of the England players have been exposed to over the years. Ben Stokes and Jeff Butler and co, Johnny Bairstow in the IPL. The expectation of being an overseas player in a tournament where you were bought and sold for huge sums of money. Can't tell me that didn't make a difference in that World Cup final. Jofra Archer. It's one thing going out there and showing what you can do in an environment that you're familiar with. Your county club, somewhere where everybody thinks you're great and you're the business. It's You go somewhere else and you're having to prove it to people who don't know that yet, and you've got a $1 million price tag on you. Different thing altogether. Overseas players have done it in county cricket for years. Think of the way that people like Alan Donald and Wackar Younis and co came out and were expected to deliver and did. Now the same thing is happening for our players overseas. 2 overs gone, 9 for 1.
Well, absolutely. These conditions that you can't replicate. Nothing like playing in match conditions, and the experiences that they've had of other cultures. Varied support, raucous stadiums. Just sets you up so much. But if you do make that next level.
Lightning 151 for 6. Looked as though they wouldn't get anywhere near. But for Glenn Maxwell and Dane Villash, the skipper, 2 for 10 for Luke Wood. 120 looked like it was out of reach at one point for Lancashire, but they have kept this game, this contest, very much alive. No two teams have won more than Nottinghamshire and Lancashire in the Blast.
I just wonder here now, Butch, that they will have been warned off a little bit by the start that Lancashire made. Don't want to replicate, lost a wicket in the first ball, both sides did. But now knowing what happened subsequently to Lancashire, Nottinghamshire are aware of that and almost look like they're playing as Lancashire did when they were 3 down.
Yeah, so more of a 50-over approach, perhaps. Maybe smart. Nicely played from Duckett. Just coming back for a couple here. Perhaps there shouldn't have been 2, but lovely bit of wrist work just at the point of contact there from Ben Duckett. Just watch the way Duckett just as he makes contact with the ball here, there, just opens the blade up, gets it to the right side of Liam Livingstone at backward point for a couple.
Well, that's going to be fortunate for Nottinghamshire. Duckett, little bit of a toe ender. Just out of the reach. Dane Villash.
Faulkner going for the back of the hand slower ball early in the piece. I wonder if you might just be thinking top of off stump. Keep hitting top of off stump at this point in time. Nope. He's not thinking that at all. I think he should be, but he's not thinking that at all. Saw Neil Mallender start to play. He looks a bit frazzled, you know.
A lot of cricket.
We think we've been doing a few miles. I think he's just, a little bit doolally perhaps. Great fella, Neil Mallender. Really nice guy. Oh, that's flashed away. I'm not sure the fielder at cover saw it. Indication of how hard it was hit.
Twice it's happened. Once in the Lancashire innings. And again, Alex Davis, this time just being blinded by perhaps the scoreboard or the floodlights. We've been trying to look to see what could be causing them consternation fielding over on that side of the ground. Joe Clark earlier putting down what didn't even get a hand to it. Was blinded by something with a catch coming his way.
Goes for the slowey again. That's bizarre, that, isn't it? I mean, the floodlights are proper. They are not the temporary sort that are too low and sometimes get in the player's way.
Just wonder if it's that scoreboard.
That scoreboard, yeah. That's what I thought it was when that catch went begging out there at deep mid-wicket. It's really bright, isn't it? Super Troopers.
Wait!
Not from the last. Good over, though. Oh, hang on. Dot from the last. 20 for 1.
Smile. What's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still.
We don't just engineer to a spec. We engineer to a feeling. The all-new Mazda 3.
Just smile.
132 required for the Outlaws to get their 4th win in this year's Blast. They started off with a loss against Worcestershire at home, since picked up 3 victories. Had 1 match abandoned. Lancashire have yet to lose. Gleeson switches ends. Hales has played a delicate little run down through third man for 4.
Well, he's going to have to stick those in the wash at a high temperature, I reckon, Alex Davis, the amount of stains that he's picked up with throwing himself around the boundary edge. It's beautifully played. Oh, I think he's nutted it as well.
Don't bowl there. Do not bowl there. Gone away to the longest part of the ground. It's fairly fizzed across the turf.
And it's the simplicity in the way that he makes it look as though it was effortless. Errant in line, but minimal fuss. Just everything in the right place at the right time. You watch where he actually plays that, right under the eye line, and then the flick. Looking to go straight, then turning the wrists.
Well, there's precious little in the way of sideways movement now. Certainly does appear to be some dew out there. Players drying their hands and trying to keep the ball dry. We'll see spin fairly soon, I think.
I was just going to ask. We saw Imad Wasim, we saw Carter as well in the power play overs for Nottinghamshire. Lancashire not going that way.
Gone. Would you believe it? It's a flan, a pie, and somehow Duckett has managed to hit it to guess who? Glenn Maxwell.
Well, every ball that Rich Gleeson has bowled into the surface has gone for runs. Different tactic, different result. And he knows he's burgled one, but he doesn't care. So Ben Duckett departs. He goes for 13. Notts Outlaws 29 for 2.
I know every instinct is telling you to go in there, but you just need...
Point agents on the street are Bell and Zidane. We need to secure this area immediately.
I just shut down half the city and I can't open it up until we know it's safe.
The brand new series of FBI starts Thursday at 9 on Sky Witness.
Samit Patel. One of only 10 left standing who played in 2003, the first year of the Blast. In 2019, which looks as though it may be the last year of the Blast as we know it. Last time we had Nottinghamshire Outlaws on the box, he came in at number 7 in the game that Notts lost against Worcestershire. He's in the business area now today at number 3. Oh no, that's a fabulous shot. High class from Samit Patel.
It's the first ball he faces. You just want to take this shot out for dinner. Just watch this. Glorious. Straight back. Simplicity again.
I reckon 90 would still want to go Dutch, though.
Not sure he heard you. Got away with it.
Well, that's the end of a successful but expensive over for Gleeson, 33 for 2. Well, it's a decent start for the Outlaws, despite the fact that they've lost 2 wickets. The run rate has actually come down from where it started, 7.6 required at the start, 7.4 now. Lancashire persisting with pace.
It's not quite got up the way Hales thought it may. Just looking at something. He's got some tape. Arm, back, pads.
I think he's got a bit of old-fashioned sellotape around the back. It's not, is it? It's going to be the reinforced stuff. It's good to see him back in his rightful place at the somewhere near the top of the order, though. He was wasted down amongst the Rabbits in the first game that we saw against him, and he's just simply too good a player not to be facing the majority of deliveries in a run chase, or indeed when you're setting. Shot. Quite deliberate, quite brilliant, almost. An incredible stave down there from Josh Bohannon as well, but another shot, rare touch.
Does that not reinforce your point, Mark Butcher? The guy is class, vastly experienced, calm head, and a run chase like this, you've got to keep him in those top order positions, 3s, 4s. That is a wonderful touch. So important to this Outlaw side. The amount of times he's seen his side home in a variety of different competitions.
So the other thing too is that Lancashire have delayed bringing spin in. I understand why, because they want perhaps to be bowling nearly all of their overs of spin outside of the power play. But he's a terrific player with the slow stuff as well. So he'll have got himself a start when they come on. Lancashire would dearly like to remove him before they come on.
I'm intrigued to see how Alex Hales plays the turning ball as well. Any lanka. With apparently a Kiwi.
Quieter over, still 6 from it. 39 for 2 from 5.
Very different approach then from the home side. All pace so far. Samit Patel certainly enjoying that pace. He's just using it and guiding it through third man. Faulkner with all the variations. Super shot. That is all about timing.
Trigger really taking himself back into the crease, just punching it, hitting it through the line. Effortless.
Oh, he's hit 3 boundaries so far, and 3 high quality shots. There's the back of the hand delivery. I get the feeling, watching the game, that Parkinson will have a key role. With plenty of depth. I very much admire Dane Villas as a captain. I think he's an astute leader. I think he reads the game really well, and he's got a big role to play here. He's been rotating his bowlers, all been bowling at different ends. One from one end, then rotating, then bowling the other. So bowlers have had a chance at different ends, and you'll have to hurry there, Hales. Good call. So with that, the bowlers will just have to adjust a little bit.
Yeah, I think we'll see plenty of those. Slow balls bowled into the surface as well. Try and get that ball just to hold. Full pace deliveries, you've been able to hit through. Yeah, there you go. Average speed 68.8 miles per hour. Just the change-up becomes the quicker ball.
Yeah, I really like it. Maybe them in the T20.
Seven runs from the over through the power play overs now. 46 for 2. Apologies, by the way, if you heard any bad language, but what a start. Nothing I've seen a game where the first ball of each innings has been a wicket. Ball has just swung around a little bit in the early over or two, but after that, gun barrel straight, and against the new ball, it's been sliding on quite nicely. Ben Duckett won't quite believe that he's found Maxwell there at mid-off. Well, Samit Patel, from the moment that he came in, found the middle of the bat. So 46 for 2. This stage, Lancashire were 23 for 3. So ahead of the game, but you just feel that the game has the chance to turn around here with the spin on and the pace off the ball.
Oh, nice, Parky.
It'll be interesting to see Parkinson, as it always is, gives the ball a real rip, bowls it very slow, 46.3 miles per hour, that delivery. Whether you can just get onto the back foot. He's in good form, 4 wickets for 30 yesterday.
Oh, Parky, nice, brother.
And the Hales just thinks, right, you're going to loop him up, I'm coming at you. Might go a long way, might buy a wicket.
A little give it too much flight on this occasion. He's a brave bowler. He likes to get it up above the eye line. And big boundaries he's got in his favour.
Samit Patel wanted 3, Alex Hales didn't. How many times has Samit Patel wanted more than the bloke at the other end? Not too many, I'd warrant.
Down, Parky. Nice, brother.
45 miles per hour. Just slightly shorter. Does he bank on him getting it up even more, this ball?
Beautifully controlled. Just helped it on its way.
Yeah, real control from Hales.
Decent over for the Outlaws. 8 from it, 54 for 2 from 7.
Open Table. With millions of verified diner reviews, Open Table helps you discover the right restaurant for you. Reserve your table on Open Table.
Fill your home with summer colour at Homebase. We've got 3 for 2 on all Dulux coloured emulsion, Cuprinol and Weather Shield paints. Explore the possibilities at Homebase.
It's a little greasy out there now. It's a little bit of dew, so that might just be helping batting him. I just skid on a little bit more. It's always the difficulty for a captain in the second half of the game is under lights. If the dew does come down, then it just changes the surface a little bit. A bit more leg spin, bit more spin from Liam Livingstone. Missed out with the bat. Chance to make an impression with the ball. He would start, gets away with it.
Might not be the worst ploy, but full tosses to that huge boundary. It's going to be some massive hit to get it over the leg side as Samit Patel is batting now. It's going to take a monster hit.
He's been very effective in the blast so far this year. 5 wickets already, just from a handful of overs, 7.
Oh, Libby! Right, touch, one pole. 1 or 2 dots in the pole. That's all it is. Oh. For him.
It's like he's got that bat out of a garage or something, but it's flying.
Ow! On it!
Well bowled.
Yes, Captain.
Push through that little bit quicker.
Great work, Parky, there.
Keep an eye on Maxwell at long on. I don't think I've seen this very much. We might try and get a view of him.
Catch!
He's at long on, and usually when you're at long on, you feel you're in the game, and the ball might come to you. But he's almost like a sprinter. He's almost in a low sprinting position, ready to come in, trying to save the 2. Finds the gap just. High-class innings this from Samit Patel. Just 16 deliveries, but he has 21. 61 for 2.
Keep getting the boundaries just when they want them, just to release that little bit of pressure. You try and build it up, and then a boundary comes. You have to start again as a bowling unit. Please just see what Maxwell do.
Check out the sprinting position.
He's not like Usain Bolt.
Swept away, finds the gap. Brilliant batting this from Alex Hales. Atakanta, 29 from 17.
Such good reach.
Up a long way. Simple catch. Simple catch for Glenn Maxwell.
Yeah, he succumbed. It was looped up. Short boundary to that leg side. That is a massive wicket. Hales was doing it easy. Had it all under control up until that point. He knew. Watch his reaction just in your screen there. Have a look at Maxwell. He is not going to drop that. That has got him back into this game, and he knows it. Alex Hales goes for 29, 65 for 3.
The Football League is back. A new season, new dreams. Championship action continues with Bristol City Leeds, Huddersfield Derby, live on Sky Sports Football.
Oh, g'day, Bumble. All right. Your roses are looking good. I like your chances.
Yes, we can. It's England versus Australia for the Ashes. Cricket doesn't get better than this.
You said he was like a sprinter.
Long on. He's getting a bit of... Well, I don't think he might be getting a bit of stick out there.
Can't be getting any stick there. There's no one there.
Silencing.
Oh, nice. Pocket. Great effort, boy.
Completely changes again now. Type of surface. The man in is going to make the pitch look much better, actually. It's not a bad pitch by any stretch. But they're going to make it look much better than it actually is. It's not going to be easy to start on. Tom Moore's in good form. Real dasher as well. Real fast hands. Have a look at these if he gets going.
We'll run out, kids. Lovely boy, lovely boy. Yeah, hey? No, you.
It's two, he's very quick, he'll come back.
Oh, nice, very nice there.
8 runs from the over, but the all-important wicket, that of Alex Hales, 69 for 3 from 9.
Yeah, man, they desperately needed to see the back of. Alex Hales was making batting look very simple. Samuel Patel has started World 22 from 17. Dan Christian has a lot of power. And we're into the all-rounders.
The strengths of this Lancashire side is that they have so many bowling options. One over from Liam Livingston, Maxwell into the attack. Bowls a variation, really. Sometimes he bowls a slingy ball, particularly to the left hand around the wicket.
Here we go, boys. One more pole, yeah. Action! Happy with that, Malaysia? Right in front there. Great time for another pole. Front high. 2 next. Yeah, back here. One out. Yep, come on.
There's that slingy delivery. Just trying to stop the left-hander scoring on the offside. Trying to make him score on the leg side with the angle.
Like a pitch, you just want to fire it into the surface. Try and just get it to hold. Not been a huge amount of spin, just at times it just holds in this pitch.
Great work, Posse.
20. Pretty good over so far. Try and stop the boundary of the last ball. Everyone goes back on the edge of the circle. Seven from it. We're through 10 now, 76 for 3.
So not out of the rate. The original one required was 7.6. It stayed exactly the same. Luke Wood and Madrazim with the pads on. Liam Livingston, second over.
Down. Lovely kitty.
Moores is the one they want to try and attack here.
Go, boys, come on.
Keep on strike as well. Patel going nicely.
Oh, nice.
Moores fancy two. Samet just content with one. Beautifully in the balance, Nicholas.
Is indeed, yeah.
Boys, here we
Samet
go.
Patel
One
has
wicket, one mistake.
played quite brilliantly so far.
I just wonder as well, they milk it here, run a ball. Granted, they just need a smidgen extra. It's not panic stations at all. James Faulkner, it was slightly guilty party, just inspecting his fingertip. He just caught him a little bit awkwardly. A couple of runs though.
Oh, no!
Fortune again. And a boundary for Samet Patel. Probably his ugliest boundary that he's hit so far, but just as valuable to Nottinghamshire. 11 overs gone, 85 for 3. Well, the Rob Key fan club in good voice. All wearing similar sort of shirts today. No wonder they felt a kinship to Robert on the train. Well, Lanks need a breakthrough. They need to see the back of Samet Patel. They've turned back to Richard Gleeson. 2 wickets so far. One with an absolute beauty, one not as beautiful. Picked up really sweetly that by Moores. Really good shot.
Yeah, before this ball was bowled, I was thinking high risk. It's a bit of a gamble. We saw with Zach Chappell the same thing. In the middle overs, the extra pace, batsmen might enjoy it. It just skips on. It just skids on. You can use the pace. What Dane Villas is hoping is it's going to create the mistake.
Butch earlier alluded to the fact that there might be just a little bit of dew out there, a bit of moisture.
Yeah, that should help it come on, shouldn't it? I think he's one of the better captains, Dane Villas. I think he reads the game really well. Watching the games we've done, the changes he's made here, he's always making a change. Changing ends for bowlers, trying not to let batsmen settle. I'd say this is quite a high risk.
Gently nudged, very calmly for a single. I've already got 6 from the over. 3 balls have gone. Well, this is what Rich Gleeson did earlier on.
Yeah, and he had lateral movement, a little bit of swing. It's brilliant delivery. The batsman, he just walk off saying, not much I could have done with that. He could have done a lot more with that. You can't quite believe he's plinked that one to Maxwell.
Fully in control of that, Tom Moores.
Amazing, you know, when you look back at Ben Duckett a couple of years ago, he was smashing all those runs for Northlands. Never have got out like that. They'd have gone sailing over extra cover for 6. You can't quite get back in rhythm, and your confidence isn't quite there, and your self-belief isn't quite there, maybe. It's the one you miss out on. I think he'll be back. I think he's a good player.
I agree with you. Back in his Northlands days, it was devastating to watch. Bowlers struggled to find a place that they could bowl to Ben Duckett. I just wonder, you know, with his England experience that he had, struggles the subcontinent, change of clubs as well, lot going on.
Yeah, just let him settle back into cricket and do what he does well. He'll be back.
Flashed away, just a single to conclude the over. Just what Knott's needed, just 9. 12 overs gone, 94 for 3.
BMW 3 Series, I see.
Yeah.
Less than 6 months old.
Sure.
But does it do this?
He's worked so hard.
Does it?
No, but we rented it for only £39 from Sixt, so...
Wait! Sixt, drive smug.
Oh, nice.
Livingston continues. Put yourself in the mind of Dane Villas.
Come on, boys, one more ball, come on. One top
Making sure I bowl him with 2 overs left of Parkinson. Don't want to leave him. But he's going to have to come into the attack pretty quickly.
Leggy from Liam Livingston. Bowled one of those when Samit Patel went for the slog sweep, which he toe-ended down to the boundary in the previous over. That's what Villas has got to play with. Dane Villas interested. Neil Mallender, not so.
I think the conundrum for the skipper is he's got to work out whether this game's going to go to 20 overs. If it's not, if he doesn't think the game's going to go all the way, then he mustn't leave his 2 better bowlers, in my opinion, Mahmood and Parkinson. He must make sure that as the game concludes, he's bowled his best bowlers their full allocation. So that's what he's really got to work out now. Just 56, I say just 56 required.
has gone high. Opportunity taken. And gets who?
Yeah, he's pumped up. You'd expect him to catch virtually everything that comes his way. Pretty good catch in the end, but it went up a long, long way. And Dame Villas has got one of it, or one bit right. The introduction of Livingston never quite got there. Never quite got to the length. In the end, he was lurching at it. And in the end, he made the ground. So they are continuing to pick up wickets. The hero yesterday, Tom Moores, 18 from 17. Don't discount Lancashire here. 18 today for Moores, 96 for 4.
Batsman crossed. Now a bit of confusion between Patel and new man at the crease, Dan Christian. End of the over, really good one for Lancashire. Just 2 runs on the wicket, 96 for 4.
Totally predetermined, really, just to charge down and hope that the length was there. In the end, it wasn't. I think the best fielders in the most important position.
That's the situation. 56 from 42. The equation, the required rate, up to 8. And you've got just what you wanted, Nick Knight.
Oh, I just think he's perhaps seeing it. He doesn't want to run out of time. He wants to make sure that his best bowlers, and he is probably his best option right now. He's right to get him into the attack. It may not work, but I think the thinking is right.